Hello, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. Hang on, let me cut this noisemaker off. Today, I seem to be on a knuckle buster theme. I've got an old Pflueger Supreme, made in USA. It's rough. It barely will turn, and I've had it soaking in WD-40 for probably 3 months, I guess. So let's take it apart and see what's ailing it here. Nice looking handle. Handle's not bent or anything. I don't think there's any shims or anything comes off of that. That might slide off. Can't really tell. So let's take the cover plate off. Oh, don't like that fit. Let's get the screwdriver on it. There we go. I do believe the level line pawl is bad on it. When it does turn, it's not always moving the level line. Never been into one of these reels, folks. This is a first. I didn't work on many of these over the years. We never had any. We never fished with any of these. I've had one or two. In fact, at one time I had a box of parts. Should be a spare level line pawl and cap. Let's see. It's brand new. It's never been used. I'll get my forceps out here and try to pick it up out of there. There it is. It's brand new. So we've got a way to fix that. That's always good. Yeah, you can see all the WD-40 pouring out of it. And just trying to figure out how everything works here. It looks like that's about all there is to take off of this end. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what that does. I don't see where it makes contact with anything. There the gear comes off. Don't think there's any shims in that. That's off. There's the pinion, which all the gears are in great shape on. I don't see any. Alright, this is interesting. Got a little small post there. Let's take that level line pawl off of there. Boy, that sucker's on there. Get my handy dandy little tool out here. Well, that's done fell apart, so let's just go ahead and set that down there. Ah, I got it. I tell you what, that tool has saved my bacon a time or two. We'll put all the level line parts over here. Yeah, the dog is wore down pretty bad, so we're gonna be able to fix this reel. We'll get that working on it anyway. All right. I'm gonna have to pull this line off. I couldn't get it to spin good enough to get the line off of it. It just wouldn't happen. So I'll do that at a later date before I wash everything up. So, okay, that's a brake. And that's what had it locked up. That was what had it locked up right there. That's 100% it. That spring is supposed to keep this up, and as you tighten that thing down, it's supposed to bring. We're gonna have to work on that because that's not looking overly healthy there. The spring is bent, so I'm trying to articulate, and I'm not getting out of my mouth very well. So that's stuck too. So all that's going to come loose. I think I could run that in a cleaner. We'll leave that at that. Everything else looks fine. I noticed this reel foot is extremely loose. Let's see if we can go ahead and just take those screws out, and I will Loctite those back. Yep, they're coming out. They're extremely loose. We'll make sure all that's cleaned up good, and then we'll throw some Loctite to it. That screwdriver doesn't seem to want to get a grip on those. Here we go. Anybody have any idea how old this reel is? Please let me know. Over here, this knob comes off. This is to adjust the tension on the level line, so we'll put that with those parts. This is the tension for the spool. Don't know if that's missing anything or not. Don't think it is. Here's your bait clicker. It works. I'm gonna go ahead and take these posts off. I believe these two posts are exactly the same, and of course those two posts are for the foot, so not much way of getting that wrong. Alright, well, other than getting the line off of here, it's that's pretty much it. If I can, I'm gonna stir my parts up everywhere, but I'll put this in a plastic bucket and rip all that line off and see what kind of shape the spool's in. It should be pretty good. And clean this thing up, and I'll come back. This is gonna be a nice reel. I believe it's gonna clean up really, really nice. Okay, I'm back with this old Pflueger Supreme. I'm going to attempt to put this thing back together without a schematic. We'll see how it goes. Beautiful old reel. I'm not going to lie, it's really quite special. A couple things I noticed taking it apart. It's when I got around to the taking the stand, the reel foot or stand. I think Penn calls it a stand. Pflueger, I don't know. But I noticed that it, get my Loctite to work here. I noticed it was very, very loose. You know, chances of real being fished with water, kind of slim and none, but let's give it all the help we can. Go put a little bit of Loctite in there. Blue can be removed. You know, I took the stand off because it was so freaking nasty. I don't know. I hope I captured on the video just how dirty this reel was. And it's gonna fight me, you know. Why not? Shoot. That's a tough one to get a screw in there, I ain't gonna lie. There we go. Main thing here is that we get the, oh boy, we get the screw, the stand post on the same, on both sides. Why that thing don't want to go in there, I have no idea. They came out awful easy. Ah, yeah, that felt good. That's an oddball size Phillips. I'm a little bit worried about whether I'm going to be able to do that one or not. It is a 0 by 2.5 Phillips. I had it, I just had to find it. Make sure these posts, like I said, are going facing the same direction. No. Very, very difficult. It's gonna fight me the whole way. Need 10 more fingers here. Let's see here. Anyway, I finally got out fishing yesterday, and I hope to have some footage up. I got to do a whole lot of editing. Caught some nice trout out of a stocked lake, and just had a great time. It was a quick little trip that turned out to be very, very, very productive. Well, folks, I don't know how I'm going to get that started, to be honest with you. My fingers won't get a hold of it. I don't have any way to grab that screw, so yeah, I just don't have a good way to get it started in there. I can't get my fingers on it. I might have caught one thread there. Yeah, I did. I caught one thread, and that was all I needed. They just don't tighten down really good, you know, they're just kind of floppy. Not sure why. There we go. Got one of them snug. That one there don't seem to want to go. Don't know why. Got a screwdriver on it. Yeah, I can't really get screwdriver to. Let's try a small straight blade up in there. Maybe that'll give me just a little bit more out of it. It's already boogered up. I'm not making it any worse than it was. I don't think this reel's ever going to be apart again. And I hate to mess up a really nice looking reel, but I don't want to leave it loose either. That shouldn't be like that. It'll tighten up once I get all the panels on it, but That's all it's got. Okay, we got to go with that then. I don't have a schematic on this reel, so we're just going to go with it. We're hoping we can get this thing back together here. All right. I find it's always easier just to start out with the stand foot first. These screws have like a little brass washer, I guess it is, up on them, for lack of a better term. That's how it was when I found it anyway. Like that. Does that look right to everybody? It's got to be. Okay. It's got to be right. And we got 2 more posts. No idea if that was factory like that or if that's something somebody else did to it. I don't have a schematic. Just a little bit of grease up in there where that spool tensioner goes. And it won't hurt to put a little bit of oil in the spool tensioner. Do that now while I can get to it easily. Just put it in a little bit. And go through and wipe off some of that excess grease. All right, on the bait clicker, definitely want to give it just a little bit of help. Mechanically, it's real, very good shape. I don't know if you remember before I took it apart, not articulate very well, but the level line was not working properly. So we're going to work on that. Yeah, a little bit of gunk in there that I didn't see. So how this thing works is you got this lever that rides on this jack right here that adjusts the tension against the spool right there, okay? And so I'm not real happy with that, how far that lever's returning to 0 here, but that's all I got. I don't know if it's right or wrong or indifferent. it was locked up, and it was because this little friction pad here was against that spool. So we can go ahead and put the spool in there. Alright. And of course, as we do everything, we've got to make all this stuff work together. That goes in there. I have a feeling this little bad boy here, it's gonna be a handful to put in. That goes on there. We'll leave it kind of loose for now. And this, we'll try to make this work here. This goes on like so. I'm going to put the new pawl in there and put that old pawl back as a spare. I want this reel to function. Don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but I want it to function. Alright. Feels pretty good. That should slide up in there better, unless I've got this on here wrong. So that appears to be something wrong with it there. It seems like that ought to protrude through there, but maybe not. Never built one of these before. New to me. We'll just kind of go with what we got. Put a little bit of grease on those threads. You can tell I've had to get some stuck freaking fasteners off some of these old reels. I'm gun shy. Let's just see how it functions. Yep, there she goes. Down and back, down and back. All right. So far so good. I don't know why that's not protruding all the way through there. It doesn't make sense to me. The bushing, well, let's just go with it. It kind of goes like that. There's a little cup on top of that level line that rides into that part right there. So all this got to stay together long enough. I might take that back out. That will help us a little bit. Leave that out just a little bit. Yeah. All that's got to kind of stay right there. Like I said, no idea if I'm doing this one right or not. Can't say that I've ever built one. I'm almost sure I haven't. So there's something going on there. I believe I got it though. We'll put that tensioner back on there. It'll allow us to get everything kind of going back in its proper direction. Get that. All right, now this was in there like that. These are helical cut gears. So just for me being a mechanic, I know that they have to be, when two helical cut gears meet each other, they have to be, the helicals will look opposite. It wouldn't run like, well, you could run that gear upside down, I guess. But you can tell by looking at the drive sides right here, which would go down. So let's give this, it didn't have any grease on it when I got this reel. It was dry as a bone. And that's not going to allow a reel to do what it can do. So we'll put that in there. I actually could use a little bit of grease right up here on the back side where it meets that bushing. Okay, just like that. We're going to grease this up. That goes on there like that. I'm not going to grease the pinion because I got enough grease on the main gear. It's just not going to matter. It'll spread it around. So that goes like that. I'm going to oil that shaft good. Let that soak in. Over here you've got your spare pawl. I think it goes, and we'll put a little bit of oil in there too, just to keep that from getting stuck. Spare pawl goes in, and then put a little bit of grease on those threads. Can't never hurt. Once bitten, twice shy. Put that spare pawl in there. And that's put away for safekeeping. Okay. And there is a mechanism in there that I don't quite understand. It's kind of like a drag. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right, I understand it now. A little bit of grease in there. Not a lot. Now I want to rotate this around to about right there. This meets that lever. So we'll do it like that. Let's see here. I got finding some grease here and there that I did miss on the cleaning. So we'll get that stuff out of there. Make it look pretty again. Yeah. All right. A little bit of grease where these screws go. A little bit of grease on that because that thing's got to slide over that fairly easily, so we'll give it a little bit of help. Give a little bit of grease right there where it was kind of nasty still. And let's put this thing home here. Okay. Got 4 screws in it. I can just kind of imagine being out on the lake way back when fishing with this reel. Nowhere near as sophisticated as what we have today, and without a proper drag system and so forth. You know, these guys that fish these things, your grandpa, your great grandpa, they were real fishermen, weren't they? That's an oiling hole. All right, looking good so far. Put the handle on it. Let's get a handle on it. There we go. A little bit of grease to help it out. I believe they use more oil than grease on this reel, but we're going to go with the grease. Okay, so now let's wipe it down good, and we'll test the function of the reel. This reel could be polished up. You can make a real pretty little reel out of it, though. It's aluminum mostly, very lightweight. A little oil on your nice looking little knobs on this thing. Look at that. As pretty as it can be. Look, remember before it was barely turning. Actually, we could give that a little bit more help. Got a little knock to it. It's out here on the handle. This handle had a, like I said, it had a drag to it. Or did it? Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Just the spool tension. Might be just a hair tight. And you got this, you can turn. It's like a spool brake for casting. See? You turn it back this way, and she'll sing some line out the end. Well, there it is. Pflueger Supreme, made in USA, Akron, Ohio, I believe. Could be wrong. Just a beautiful old reel. I love these things. They're like the original fidget spinner. You just sit there and spin them all day long. They're so smooth once you get them running right. Look at that. Isn't that something? Well, folks, thanks for watching this video. Don't know if I'm going to keep that one or sell it. You know, look for it on my eBay store, the Vintage Fisherman one. It may be on there, it may not. I haven't decided. Like I said, I'm downsizing and moving into a smaller place to live, and I got to get rid of a bunch of stuff. But got a couple little nicks here and there, but that's, you know, it's fished. It's caught fish. I love to hear the stories these old reels could tell us if they could talk. I'd like to know the guy's name or gal's name that had this reel. where they were from, what they caught with it. Their life story, you know. Were they in the military or what'd they do, you know? So anyway, thank y'all for watching. This is John, Adventure Fisherman. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you can, and I'd appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a great day. Go catch some fish. It'll be pretty.